Hey guys, on our board we see our treble clef, which we've already learned about. We know that the treble clef looks like this fancy G, and we know the names of the notes on the lines and spaces. Remember the acronym for the spaces, rather, is FACE. F-A-C-E. FACE. Now, there's another acronym that we talked about for the lines, and remember I talked about football because I don't like fudge. Remember? Every good boy does fine. Every good boy deserves fudge. Every good boy deserves football. Today in red, we are going to be learning about the bass clef or the F clef. We'll find out why it's called the F clef in just a little bit. Now, I'm going to draw the notes in the same spaces and in the same lines, but because it's a different clef, we are going to have a different name for each of those letters and note names. Let's take a look first at the spaces. The first space is A, the second space is C, third space is E, and the fourth space is G. A good and fun sentence to remember the spaces of the bass clef or the F clef is all cows eat grass. All cows eat grass. Now, let's take a look at the lines. The first line is G. The second line is B. The third line, D. Fourth line, F. And fifth line, A. G, B, D, F, A. Our sentence here is, good boys do fine always.
Hey, I know I just said our device was good boys do fine always. But if you're like me and you're like a foodie and you love to eat and you love food, here's another way to remember the lines of the bass clef staff. Here we go. Good burritos don't fall apart. Here it is again. Good burritos don't fall apart. Hi, welcome to Moe's. Hey, you guys remember this?
High, big, low, small, high, big, low.
Well, it's important to remember that from our melodic series part 1 of Melodic Direction Introduction, because now we're going to take a look at some instruments that are playing in the bass clef. Remember, the small ones play high and the big ones play low. So let's look at a couple of instruments that are going to play in our bass clef.
Here's my music production workstation, and even though it's not the actual instruments, they've sampled and recorded the sounds of the actual instruments. So we're going to get some demonstrations of some instruments that play in the bass clef. First, of course, is the piano, down here on the low side from our low and high lesson. Here's another instrument that plays in the bass clef. This is an electric bass. Here's another one. This is, let me find it here for you. This is the double bass. One more. Let's take a look at the tuba. Where did my tuba go? There's my tuba. Let's see, I wonder if I have any other instruments that play in the bass clef. Ooh, let's go over to the woodwind family. Here is the bassoon.
Remember, just a moment ago, I told you the bass clef is also known as the F clef? Well, I'm going to explain to you why that is. Let's look at the lines of the bass clef. Remember, G, B, D, F. Oh, this line is F, and we notice that there are two dots around the F line. Originally, the bass clef was called the F clef, and this is why. The two dots that go with the clef sign are located above and below the F line. All right, guys, let's take a look at our practice and see if we can name some of these notes on our bass clef staff. I'll put our chart here on the bottom left corner of the screen so that we can use it for our practice time during this lesson. All right, so the first note is in that fourth space. So remember our sentence, all cows eat grass. That's going to be a G. Let's take a look at another one. Oh, this is a line. Third line. Good boys do, or good burritos don't. That's a D. Let's take a look at one more this way. That's the same one. Here's another line. Good burritos don't fall apart. F, F, F. All right, now let's switch over to game mode. By the way, when we are in person, if we ever are in person, we are going to use this in our classroom for you to play on the Promethean board. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. How fast can I be? Good boy. Do. F. E. Another E. C. A. E. G. C. D. A. And another A. A G. And all right, I got 13. So there's our quick practice, and now we're going to go take a look at some flashcards. All right, let's practice some of those bass clef flashcards. Remember that this is our bass clef. Our bass clef sign. All right, here's our first note. Good, it is a G. G. Here's the next one. Correct. A. A. Next. Great, it's a G. It's a G. Here's another one. Good. F. E. Awesome work. Next. Good. D. Got a few more. Good. It's a B. 2 more to go. A. Awesome job. Last card. Good job. That's a C. Captain Hook reporting for duty. All right, team. Today we have been working on learning about the bass clef staff. We remember that it is also called the F clef because those 2 little dots outline the F line. We've practiced our spaces, A, C, E, G, all cows eat grass, and we've practiced the lines, good boys do fine always, or if you're hungry like me, good burritos don't fall apart. So now that we've finished practicing, talking about the bass clef staff, soon we will learn all about the grand staff and how we can talk about all of those treble and bass clef staffs together. Remember, the grand staff is putting the treble clef and the bass clef together. Happy music learning and happy practicing as we proceed with the next steps of our music learning. I hope you had a wonderful time learning. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye now.
I said so long.